All right, so we're back. We've got the greatest team on planet Earth. They're going to talk loud.
Yes.
Yes, so you can hear
Yes,
them,
we're gonna talk loud.
especially my low talkers. They're going to take great notes. And I've already told them what we're going to do this week, well, this today. We're going to do a Q&A of Law of Attraction. Hold on, I forgot to get one of y'all turn that down. This is what I was talking about off camera. Whoever that is, turn it down for me. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to do a Q&A of Law of Attraction. This is designed this way. We've done 7 of these. The 8th one is a Q&A. I'm going to answer all your questions. And what's going to happen is expect another 7 videos deeper than what we just did. So if you think this was deep, we're about to go deeper. Consider this an opportunity to you're coming up, taking a breath, and you're gonna ask questions that are pertinent to you. Yes, sir.
With the law of opposites
Okay.
and understanding when you teach the lesson, the law of opposites, that 90% of the time we attract what we don't want. How do we attract what we do want without focusing on the opposite?
Your question comes from a good place. It's flawed fundamentally. And by fundamental, that means the basics of something. 100% of the time, you attract something, you invoke the opposite of it. Not 90%.
Okay.
100% of the time that you want something, you will get its opposite. 100%. Yes. Okay. That seemed like it resonated. So what made? Give me these little thoughts so they can hear, because maybe they didn't catch it, but you two did.
Every time.
Every time. What did you get?
I got every time I want something good.
Something bad is going to happen.
Exactly.
Okay. That's how this works. Yes.
That's what opposition is called?
Yes.
Okay.
I finished answering your question. You
Yeah, yeah.
remember it? Because you
Well, I remember it, but it kind of, that portion
Go ahead then.
kind of
Go ahead.
brought up another question.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
let's rush to this question. Your question was so good, and it's fundamentally flawed that it deserves a conversation.
Okay.
It was so good. Are you gonna remember your question? Second question.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Here's what's happening. Every time you want something good, something bad will happen. This is why you have not been successful, because you lose your mind into something bad.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, it's not meant for me to have.
Yep.
And what I want to get you to do is, oh my God, this is bad. This is meant for me to have.
Huh. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Just
Answer the second question.
So repeat that again.
Oh my God, this is not working out. I'm supposed to be right here. I am on the right path. Oh, I just got in overdraft. I'm supposed to be rich.
Wait.
I know.
You lost me on that one.
Think and Grow Rich says it in a simpler way. Every failure has an opposite and equal victory to it. I don't know. I Think and Grow Rich. That's in a book. I don't like that. Okay, I'm glad you said such a thing. It's not Think and Grow Rich. You saw that, whatever. Okay. It's not. I don't like. You know what? I don't like Napoleon Hill. Okay. Newton's third law of motion says,
Every action deserves an equal and opposite reaction.
boom. This means scientifically, if you want to move forward, you have to first experience backwards.
Okay.
This is absolute science. If you run forward, what's the first thing you have to do? See, it's so simple.
You have to be standing.
You have to run backwards. And see, you can't. This is why y'all are missing your breakthrough. This is why you're missing your breakthrough. Because you do it so much that you say, nah, that's not true. You can't run backwards. I don't run back. Yes, you do. In order to run forward, what's the first thing? Where is this camera going? I want you. Do you have on closed toe shoes? Good. Move your chair, slide it back. Stand up. I'm going to show you how amazing your brain is that it understands stuff your conscious cannot understand. I want you to get into a sprinter's position, whatever you think that is. Face the camera and do it.
Okay.
So watch it. Watch it. You start to get it. What's the first thing she's doing? Do it again.
I step my foot back.
She step your foot back.
To move it forward.
Now, if you want to walk forward, you're going to step your foot back to walk forward. Now, watch it. If you want to sprint forward, how hard do you have to go backwards first?
You gotta go backwards and get leverage and.
I'm sorry, what? You have to, what?
You have to go backward.
To get
Forward.
To get leverage.
To get leverage.
Just to go forward.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You got it? Okay. I just got a question. Okay. Now I think I've answered this law of opposites. We got 2 questions now. Go ahead. We'll get
So
you.
am I correct in saying is when you're standing still and go to take a step forward, you have to use the backwards leg to push
It's
off.
the only thing that's letting you go forward. Being in the opposite of forward.
Thank you.
Your back leg needs
Takes
to
the
be
weight.
so strong
And supportive.
that it will push you forward because you had to start backwards. In order to experience forward, you have to use your back leg. It's everywhere in nature.
Should I do?
You can't walk forward without lose one of your legs and try to walk forward. Because you can't go backwards first.
I have. They had to roll me.
Even in the rolling,
I couldn't
you
go
have to
back.
put your hands
back.
And push forward.
Come on, y'all. You're smart.
I'm just like so simple, but
Yes.
so powerful.
Go ahead, sir. Give your comment and your question.
Okay. My revelatory experience in saying you have to go backwards before you go forward was that
Is this picking me up? Make sure I can lean against this wall. It's picking me up.
the reason we're actually getting the opposite of what we want is because when we go back, we focus on the back and never push forward.
That's right. That's right. Now make sure you can get you too. Okay. That's my camera woman, but I'm not letting her be behind the camera. Yeah.
even when I lean back. Okay.
All that cool stuff you see from me on camera, D. Marie is the camera. I'm just not letting her be behind the camera on this.
Greatest publicist ever.
Yes.
Thank
Just
you.
not letting her be behind the camera on these. Okay. Now, you said something wise. Y'all have a problem with going back. Or, let's forget back, because back is the opposite of forward. That's what it is. You have a problem with the
forward.
opposite.
Yeah.
You have a problem with the opposites when it was only the opposite that let you experience the forward. You can't go forward without planting a foot back first. So 100% of the time, if you want to get what you want, law of attraction, attract what you want, you must attract the opposite. You must. And until you get that in your head, you will suffer. Now, but what I got you. This is how you pay attention to the opposites. Did anybody know what I just said about the runner stuff first? Did you ever think about that?
No.
And since you didn't think about it, did it ever bother you?
No.
That's what you do with the opposites in your life.
Go for it.
You
Next
don't
question.
think about
Anybody else got a question?
Okay.
it. When
wait,
the
wait.
opposites come up in your life, stop thinking about them. It's that simple. Nobody said you have to pay attention to your back leg, being your back leg. Okay, we got 1, 2, and then 3. Go ahead.
So I actually have 2 questions. So the first question, so when you always tell us you have to slow down to speed up, that's what you're telling us.
It is Newton's third law of motion. Opposite, it's actually Newton's first law of motion. Actually, let's do both. We got to tie both here. Every action has an opposite equal reaction. Boom. But let's think about this here. Slow down and speed up. I'll do it in the way it's quoted. Every Newton's first law of motion said an object at rest will remain at rest until an unbalanced force acts upon it. That means if this cell phone is still on the table until I move the table, it's going to stay at rest. Because everything in this world is in motion. This cell phone is not stopped. The table is in the way of its motion. This cell phone wants very much so to continue to go to what we call the center of the earth. The table is stopping it. Move the table, then the floor will stop it. Move this floor, this house foundation, then the house foundation will stop it. But what's on the house foundation? The soil. Take away the top soil a couple of 100 miles down, then the enamel, and then take away that, then you get to the core of the earth. You understand what I'm saying? But it will continue to move.
And it stops at the core? Is that where everything stops?
Let's just do that for illustration.
Okay,
first.
thank you. I forgot who
Let's stop at the core.
I forgot who I was asking that question.
You was about to get me into it.
Let's stop
It
at the
stops
core.
at the core. We're gonna leave it
For
at that.
this
I'm
situation.
a completely different
Because
area.
I got
She
2
goes back
answers
up
to
the
that
core.
question.
No. That's a
In
whole
2
nother
different fields of science. I fool around and tell you, well, first off, everything I just said don't even
exist.
Because gravity don't exist. I'll hit you with that one, but I know. But we're just going to just.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes, and then I could have hit you with some, but yes. Okay, but yes. All right.
For this illustration, everything
For
stops
this
at the core.
illustration, everything stops at the core. That is not.
Air quotes here.
This is for this illustration to all my scientists who are out there. This illustration, okay?
Okay.
All right. You asked a good question. You asked a good question, and you would have found the journey of the center of the earth. You would have found it in the book. No, I'm just playing. But okay. Here's what I want you to get. Here's what I want you to understand. This phone is in motion. It never stops. Now let's inverse Newton's first law of motion. An object at rest will remain at rest when unbalanced force acts upon it. Same thing. We're going to say the same thing as the opposite way.
So object moving will continue to move until unbalanced force acts upon it.
That boy there is being a genius today. Okay? Yes. An object moving will continue to move until something stops it. This means
Hence your car.
I'm
this,
talking about a positive thought, but
Yeah.
still a negative thought.
and when you pay attention to what's stopping you, you become the cell phone on the table, and you can't go no further.
Okay. Did you answer her question?
I just
Okay.
nailed her question.
Okay.
You say the answer to your question, and so everybody can get it.
He demolished that.
I basically made the preference you're always in motion.
Right.
Now, do we pay attention to the bad things?
No, we do.
If we do, what happens to us?
We get stuck. Because if we're in motion towards the positive and
The opposite comes
the
back.
opposite comes and hits us, then we get stuck in the backwards instead of moving forward.
Because whatever you pay attention to is what exists.
So, can I ask a question? So, I've always thought being aware of your surroundings and being aware of what you're doing, but then if you're aware of it, then you're actually stopping the process.
There's only one real way I can answer your question, and I wish I didn't have to answer it this way. I'm going to say this as delicately as possible.
Shoot.
I know y'all can't tell. She's white, I'm black. I know it. I know you colorblind, and you can't tell that we're twins on a different side of the equator. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I get it. They didn't know. They did not see your blonde hair. You know, they didn't see it because you know, racism doesn't exist. Okay, that was sarcastic. Okay, but yes, okay. They didn't know that.
He gonna add it.
Now that you're not colorblind, and I've you are black. Okay, you get it. Welcome, I'm black. Okay, welcome to your new vision.
Oh yeah.
She's white. Now, what was the question? The question was, now awareness.
We always say have a high level of awareness. So when you're being in your high level awareness, and you know the opposites, but then you're saying if you know the opposites, that's going to throw your attention span off of the opposite.
That's right. So everybody gets it. I think these two young ladies are trying to chime in. And see, we're going to add more people to this conversation. Let's see. So do we remember her question? It is powerful.
If we have a higher level of awareness, do we get stuck in the backwards because we're more aware of it?
Because you're more aware of what's wrong.
Yeah.
That's actually exactly what you said. So
Yeah,
you
you said it very well. Better than that.
I just said it through my perception.
Thank you.
So we can all agree that the question is, well, you know, if I'm aware of some stuff, it may be stopping me.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, ask your question. It fits this one, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. We're in the same field. We're on the same subject of law of opposites. And what I received in us attracting the law of opposite, because it's clearly not what we want, but we're receiving it in two parts, is because we're not only just thinking it, but we're actually speaking it by focusing on it.
All right, that's a whole different question. Let's deal with this one real quick. I got you. There's only one real way for me to answer her question. I can answer another one, but one that I think will connect to the collective consciousness of what's going on. I'm black. I know. It's crazy.
No, you're not.
Now, she's white.
No, she's not.
The awareness of what's happening in our climate today is black versus white. Okay, now watch this here.
My brother.
And I'm dark.
But not only, I am a black guy again. I am aware, I should be aware that white privilege exists.
True.
There's enough.
Makes sense.
There's enough, all that stuff to exist and make that. I'm not trying to make anybody uncomfortable. I'm about to show you something. I'm about to show you how awareness is not what you always call it. To intellectually know something, that's not awareness. And your question was confusing awareness and intellect together. Ask the question again, and I'm gonna run hastily to the answer. I know the question. I want you to do it to remind the audience and everybody why we.
My question is if I'm aware, if I'm in a high level of awareness, and I am aware of the opposite things,
Right.
is that taking my focus to those opposite things and stopping my forward movement?
If I'm aware and I got some stuff around me and I intellectually see these opposite things, that's what you're really saying. We're just muddying or we're just blending in these two words, intellect and awareness. Watch this here. I intellectually know from data to everything, white privilege is probably something that is a problem. From the corporate structure and everything. In my awareness, that ain't got to do with me.
Gotcha.
And I meant it the way that I wanted to say it, but I just bleeped my own self out.
Okay.
Now, this is the best way to answer your question. It really is. The best way to answer your question is, I am aware that there is a social construct that is against what I am doing. That ain't got nothing to do with anybody right there who don't look like me. Because when it came to me, I pushed off the energy. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm going to get whatever I want anyway.
Okay.
That's awareness. Awareness is to understand that something intellectually holding me back ain't got nothing to do with the objective laws of this universe.
Okay.
But think about the question. When I'm aware of something and I become aware of the opposite, that opposite does not have to be objective. It is just something that gets on your nerves. It just happens to be the opposite of what you objectively, well, the opposite of what you want in your prosperity.
Okay.
Just because something is against me don't mean I'm paying attention to it. That's awareness. You know why? Because no court against me can stop me from putting a seed into the ground and getting the harvest.
Okay.
There is no complexion of connection that can stop me from loving on people and they forgetting that I don't look like the complexion of connection. Does that make sense? I mean, it just don't matter.
I'm sorry. That's the first time I've heard that.
But it don't matter. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't confuse what you know with awareness. Just because you are aware of what you intellectually know doesn't mean that's in your awareness.
Okay.
My awareness says it's about 8 things that can actually stop me. About 8. I'm pretty sure this number is pretty close. Would you like to know the 8 things that can actually stop me?
Absolutely.
Earth being destroyed by a comet that I can do nothing about.
Definitely not.
Okay.
Jesus coming back.
The sun popping off as solar flare that just burns everything up.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said Jesus coming back. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Right? No, not ain't for a religious person. I'll be like, wait a minute.
Wait.
Got some goals. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't
Hold
end
your,
this.
don't, got you.
Like, I'm so driven. I mean, like, well, wait a minute. If you're going to save all of us, then, you know, just when religious talking, that's what he wants to say because he's so churchy. Can I be an entrepreneur in heaven? You know? Like,
Yeah.
you understand
work this
that?
out?
I'm trying to work something out. Like,
Am I coming to my millions?
Like,
Is this everything's negotiable? That's
who
what I was
fluffing
taught.
the wings? You know, like, you know, how, who supplies the pearls for the pearly gates? You
Who's
know,
shining the
You
streets?
understand? Exactly.
No,
Now,
that's a good question.
Earth, we're going to leave Jesus out. Solar flare. I said comet, solar flare. I die. If I die, that's probably something that can stop me. That kind of works that way. Death is kind of a great stopper of things. It kind of works that way. If all the water on planet Earth decides not to respect its boundaries, and I live on the coast, which I do, it just,
Gotcha.
floods me out.
He just relocated.
Now, if I'm alive, in fact, I'm taking it out because if I'm alive, I'm still not going to lose.
Yeah.
I'll just buy the construction company getting ready to fix everything. So now I'm still back down to 4. I can't think of any 5 through 8. Anything outside of a solar volcano, if a volcano comes up and just
Atomic bomb. Yeah.
like a super volcano,
Yeah, that's what it happened.
it just totally
Yeah.
messes all this up.
It have to be a super volcano.
Nuclear war.
Yeah, that's it.
Now we up to 6. Nuclear war. Can't really do anything about that because I don't control the launch codes.
We
But
were
you're still-
just
you're
frozen
still-
overnight.
Yeah, but you're still not at 6. You're still at 4 because you can fit nuclear war inside the first one. The something that just destroys the earth.
Destroys the earth. So you're right. So I'm at 5. Other than that, if it's a problem, it is only here to make me rich. You gotta receive that. So if I see something that is a problem, I'm really close to my prosperity.
Because it's the opposite.
It is only here to serve me so I can experience what I want.
And it only gets stronger the closer you are to your prosperity.
And the bigger your prosperity is that you're attracting.
Oh,
So is
Jesus,
that why
they
you
gonna
say-
take me to church?
Say,
They
on a
said
scale of 1 to 10, if your current situation is in a negative 12, something's about to shift
To the positive 12.
to the pot. Okay.
Whatever you're attracting into your life, if you are
Wow.
honestly attracting something great, like if you're honestly saying, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. So if you're in a negative 12, if you say, I want to do this and I'm not planting bad seeds, but I keep getting this negative 12, please know that if you have the courage to walk past Whatever it is that's frustrating you or putting you into fear, positive 12 is about to show up.
Thank you for all this negative 12.
Because every action has an opposite and equal reaction. But there is first off, I almost ran over what you just said. Thank you for all those negative 12s. Yes. Yes. That was powerful awareness you just exercised there. She understood the thank you for all the stuff I thought that was against me. If every action has an opposite and equal reaction, that means if every action has an opposite and equal reaction, let me see if I can do it this way. What that means, oh, now it's going to answer over there. It's too late now. They're on my phone now. They've been trying to chime in the class.
Oh.
Can you hear me? All right, y'all missed like 30 great minutes. That's okay. We're going to keep going. If every action has an opposite and equal reaction, then in that opposite and equal reaction, what is happening is if it's a negative 12, what's the opposite of negative 12?
Positive 12.
Now, if that works for math, why it won't work for you?
Thank you.
Just getting my math straight. That's a positive 12 to a negative 12. That's like 24.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
That-
But the 24 is not your business.
It's just that
Wait,
positive 12.
wait. Let's rewind.
It's 24. She's right.
Because I thought math formula. Positive 12 plus negative 12 is 0.
Right. But I was
looking at scale. Positive here.
putting her, because she
Right,
said
right.
scale.
Yeah, okay.
She said
Okay,
scale.
okay,
And I was,
okay.
And I'm
so I was
thinking
talking about the scale all the way to positive 12. That's
Okay,
24.
okay.
But how do I put these 24 together and line them up and make them work out for me? That ain't got your business.
Right.
Cause you,
How you get from end to end ain't got nothing to do with you. Knowing where you want to go has everything to do with you. That will take care of itself. You finna say something.
you actually just said, because you always taught us the how is not important.
Nope.
The destination is important, and your why is important.
Right. The illustration we were given, the 24 from negative 12 to 12, that's how. That is how. It's got nothing to do with you.
So don't be like 23, 22.
How
21.
soon will you get frustrated?
Very
At 22.
It's 23.
You not. Let me tell you how soon you get frustrated. You'll be at negative 12,
Yeah, frustrated.
and you'll say, "I know what I'm gonna do the right stuff. I'm gonna read this book. I'm gonna go to church. I'm gonna do whatever. I'm gonna do all this right stuff."
Oh, he's in my driveway.
And then you get to negative 11, and you go, "Wait a minute.
This ain't been
It took me a year,
Oh.
and I only moved one space. This doesn't work."
But you move, and we don't see that part.
You get it? You're closer
Thank
to
you for
positive
that.
12.
Thank you, but we're not thinking of that. We're thinking of. Yeah.
So here's what we covered for they're not new folk, the same folk that were here yesterday, Sylvia and Kathleen. What we discovered so far is 100% of the time that you want what you want, the opposite will show up. The opposite, and the opposite is there to serve you. The opposite is not there for you to pay attention to. Stop paying attention. This is what this means. Let's break this down in simple, which I did it earlier. I'm doing it for them now. This means if you want something good, you must get something bad. Stop paying attention to the something bad. Keep your eyes on the something that's good. Go ahead.
Which brings me back to the question again. Is it two-part?
Okay.
Is it your thoughts and your words? And I apologize real quick. Go lay him down. But is it two-part? You attract, like, you want something good. Like, I want prosperity. But failure comes about. And I'm going to say failure, not quitting. Because you can fail your way to success.
Yeah, quitting is failure.
Right.
That's the only failure that exists.
Right. Okay. So I want prosperity. The opposite comes about. I'm focused on the opposite.
That's bad.
Is it manifested more
Yes.
only by my thoughts, or is it my thoughts and my words?
You would double it if it's thoughts and words.
Okay.
But just thinking about it, what's the highest form of energy?
The thoughts.
So if you think about something, you're putting the world's highest form of energy
On that
on the
problem.
thing you don't want.
So then that.
This is why you just answer your question. Well, I'm aware, but if I pay attention, no. This is when I brought up what we would call
Intellect and awareness.
an intellect and awareness, but the whole privilege thing. It got nothing to do with me. If you think for 1 second that I pay attention to what privilege is, you crazy. You crazy. You are absolutely insane. If you think that I think that someone who is equal to me is going to be greater than me, you are absolutely insane. Crazy.
Tell me, sometimes when I see opposition,
Mhm.
I say, confirmation I'm doing the right thing.
That's
Is
right.
that safe to say?
Yes.
Is that safe? Okay.
Yes. Why is that safe to say? Because Newton's first law of motion. Every action, every.
Cut it off.
I got to start from the beginning. I got them all memorized. Any object at rest will remain at rest, but inverse. Any object at motion will remain at motion till something acts against it. The only way you can stay in motion is because something is acting against you. In this non-absolute world.
So,
In the world of the absolutes, you can stay in motion all you want to. Space will be an absolute, a vacuum.
Okay, you
You
just-
would call it heaven. The only way that you can keep moving in this world, now you get ready to shout, is to be stronger than what's against you. Don't worry about it. I'll say it again.
come on.
Thank you.
In order for you to be an object at motion that stays in motion, you have to be stronger than the resistance against you.
Come on. Now. And greater is he. That's. I'm sorry.
He's so
I'm
churchy.
sorry. I'm sorry.
And everything goes back to the church of him.
Yeah.
Everybody do me a favor and lift up your hands. You just went past air resistance,
Gravity.
past gravity,
Oh, the opposite of down.
past your body resistance,
Yeah.
your muscle resistance. Does that make sense? Okay, you put your arms down.
So Lord.
And the reason why you can do that with such ease, because the day before you were even born, you were practicing how to overcome what's against you.
Wait a minute,
I
sir.
just felt
Wait a minute.
Babies come out here able to use their arms. They can't use them with coordination. Okay, go ahead. We got somebody. Go ahead. I'm listening over the phone.
But then I thought you were saying how we attract what we get, right?
Yes.
Attract that, and then that's
Yes. We're saying the same thing. You attract what you get. That means if you want good, you get good, you attract good. But in order for you to first get to what is good, you must manifest what is bad. Because you cannot experience the good without the bad. You just don't be smart enough to pay attention to the bad. Think about this. Babies are cramped up in a small environment in the mother's womb. But they're learning how to build their muscles so they can use them out here and dominate. The resistance of the placenta is making the baby strong enough to survive in oxygen. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
The baby can breathe air because it's lighter than the placenta it was breathing.
Okay.
So,
You
Yeah.
need what is hard so you can do what is easy.
Hold on.
Okay, so
Let
she
me- I
asked a
gotta
good
know-
question.
I
She
gotta
asked the
know.
question, how do you tell if something's meant for you if it's hard and if it's not? If you know what you want, this is a great question. Write this down. Let me let y'all finish writing this. The question was, how can you tell if something is meant for you? Very simple. Let me know when y'all ready, because y'all writing.
wait, hold on.
That's right. That's right. They writing this
I'm
last
on the
time.
last. Oh, wait, I
On
don't
the last
know. Okay.
This is how you know if something. Go ahead. I'm listening. She said, 'cause sometimes I'm listening. Go ahead.
because sometimes it's hard, and then you just want to give up. But
See?
then other times, like it's hard, but you know you want what you want, so it's like
All right. Now let's break that down for answer your question. Sometimes it's hard, but you want to get up. And other times, now listen to what she says. But other times, she chose a contrasting word. But other times, you keep going. That is when you only get what you want when you keep going. You've never got anything when you gave up. When you kept going, you said, no matter what's in front of me, this is what I want, and I'm going to get it no matter what. And at that time, you were applying the law of attraction properly. When you said, my baby needs these diapers, I am broke, I don't have any money, but by the end of the day, I'm going to have whatever I need to make sure that this child is taken care of. You were not denied that day.
Okay.
Well,
Because you said, no matter what is stupid in front of me that I'm supposed to be paying attention to, I refuse to do so.
Okay.
And I'm only going to pay attention to what I'm attracting. Oh, I just said a whole lot right there. Go ahead, Michelle. I should have paused right there. and
no,
let y'all
I'm
get
good.
it.
I'm good.
Go ahead, Michelle. Then you ask your question.
No, it wasn't a question. It's we get in such a mindset that we do the opposite. We binge watch TV because we're not gonna let anything stop us from interrupting our TV shows. We do it we do it the opposite. We go reach for something so negative.
That's right. Because y'all have gotten geniuses at being poor. You're the smartest people at being poor on planet Earth. Because poverty is real easy. And we do what is easy. We are constantly searching for the easiest resistance. It's in nature. If you blow a bubble inside of a bubble, that bubble will continue to take shapes so that bubble can use the least amount of energy possible to stay a bubble and not explode. Come on, come on.
No, I gotta go get the baby.
Okay.
She's throwing up.
Okay.
No, she's sick.
Oh, she's sick.
Yeah, it just she's throwing up and
Okay.
I'll just move this way.
Pleasure to see you. Why don't you tell the camera, Bob?
Thank y'all. See y'all later. Join us for the next one. I'll be here.
Okay.
I got the opposite of what I wanted.
Now, if you want one of them to call you, you good.
What you mean? I'm gonna call them.
All right, call one now.
Android charger.
Android charger. It's all right. All right. What I need you to pay attention to is the opposite is going to come up. Stop paying attention to them. Now, ladies, what y'all missed me say earlier is, in fact, if both of y'all can, I want both of you ladies to stand up wherever you are. As long as you're not driving, don't stand up and drive. I don't want to see you. Now, what I was trying to show them earlier is, in order for you to run forward, you have to go backwards first. You have to run backwards first. They were like, what? Now, both of y'all stand up and get into a sprinter position. Watch what happens to one of your legs. See it? Right? It's cool, right? One of in order for you to sprint, one of your legs was forced to go back. That's the law of opposites. In order for you to go forward, you must first experience the back first. Now, for you to push yourself forward, you have to go all in the back.
Back door.
So you can go forward in your prosperity. The slower, the more you want to take time in your back, the slower you'll be in the back. The more you want to complain about your back leg being back, the more it'll stay back. Now, y'all never caught this until I said it, but in order to run, you had to experience the law of opposite. But you don't care about your leg being back
Think about it.
because you respect that opposite. Start respecting the rest.
Okay.
Just like that. Okay, you had a question, Diana.
It was kind of so basically in life, when we don't go through the back, when we don't pay, when we don't really go through our past, we won't have enough strength to push ourselves forward for our future.
Can in science, any science you choose, in religion, in philosophy, choose one, doesn't matter. Whichever one you may choose.
Philosophy.
It doesn't matter. Whichever one feels comfortable to you. Can you have a present without a past?
No. So your past is your backwards.
The law of opposites.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, when it was in your past, it was in your present. But in order to get to that past, it's still, in order to get that present, you have to have past. You will always live in the residual effect of what you used to be. You want to make sure what you used to be yesterday is really great, so your today could be awesome. But you're never gonna have a future without a present or a past. Y'all respect that. But here's what you do. You look at your past so much and hate it that you can never enjoy your present. She's saying you gotta start from what's inside and move forward what's outside. She's right. And I'm here to tell you everything outside only comes because of what is inside. Everything. Outside doesn't exist until inside creates it. That's everywhere. That's with you. You started inside your mama, inside your daddy, to out here. I mean, this is just what it is. You don't have to like that. That won't stop it from being science.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nature is so great. Nature told you, slow down and speed up. Took you 36 years to ruin your life. Now you want to change in 36 seconds. Because life understands that if you don't grasp the concepts of knowing how not to mess up again, as soon as you get something good, you're going to mess it up. And you're going to live in this constant. It's always the right time to fix anything. She just asked, what do you know when's the right time? Now watch this here. Here's a better way to ask the question. When is the right time to live a life that's worthy of you?
All the time.
Anytime. No. Yeah.
I feel like time is ticking. Well, somebody else is like, you're very young. I'm like, but I keep messing up.
Yeah, that's fair. She said, I always feel like time is ticking. Time is not ticking. Due to the second law of thermodynamics, which we go from everything is order into disorder, this is where we get the illusion that time is running out. Because everything goes from order to disorder. Every apple goes from an ordered apple to a disordered rotten apple. Every human goes from an ordered human to a disordered or a dying old adult. You get it? Cycle of life. You can't. You wear a diaper when you're young. You wear a diaper when you're old. You know, it's this whole cycle of life. Yeah, you start from baby and with baby is what she said. But it's about right. If you're vegan, it's not right. I mean, we got vegan power. We eat right. That was just me playing with y'all. That's how. Don't listen to that last part. This vegan. Don't worry.
No, you didn't.
That's all right. I'm done.
No, you didn't.
Eat more plants. I am a yes. Eat more plants. Okay. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Okay. Next question. Let's get some more questions about with open Q&A of law of attraction. That powerful question took over.
Am I unmuted? I have a question.
Yes, sir. You're unmuted and have a question. Go ahead.
Okay.
Put the phone by the.
What we were just discussing, they're talking about with the law of opposites. And I'm asking this question. I'm a preacher, so yeah, it's gonna be a church question. But is that why? Is the law of opposites why we preach and teach people that when things are going haywire in their life to celebrate because they're right on the edge of a breakthrough?
That's right. That's right. Yes, that is absolutely correct. Here was his question because he said he let us know he's a preacher. Every conversation he'll let you know that. He'll let you know he's a preacher, and we love him for it. We don't bother. We love him for it, and that is this why we preach. If you're going through hell, celebrate because your praise, your breakthrough is about to come. Yes, this is correct.
Okay.
This is correct because at the heart of what is religion. Religion understands that every seed of failure has an equivalent seed of victory.
Wow.
Everyone. So if you are going through rain, wait a little bit. That rain cloud will run out of rain, which will force the sun to shine. Wish I had somebody. Every rain cloud, no matter, and this is good, y'all. You lose your mind at the rain. Can I tell you something about clouds that you may not be paying attention to?
Mm-hmm.
All fresh water on planet Earth comes from the clouds. I don't know where y'all thought it came from. I don't know if you thought that little leprechauns are in mountains.
You mean like Lake Michigan?
Lake Michigan, which is fresh water,
Yes.
came from rain. A glacier cut that up first. Before it was a lake, a glacier
I know this.
cut that land. And
It's
then,
all right. And then when it rained, everything went in.
well, before it rained, when the ice melted from the ice age, it filled in that big crater,
That in fourth
which
grade.
became a lake. That's what happened there to answer that question. But all the ice came from rain. All fresh water comes from rain, and y'all complain about rainy days.
Yeah, I love it.
You would die of thirst if it never rained. So what you need to understand is this entire life is just a matter of perception. When it rains, are you looking at it as destruction, or it's a blessing? She just yes, it is a blessing. Even if it rains too much.
Yes.
We just got pounded by Hurricane Harvey. Now, is it Hurricane Harvey's fault that places like Dickinson and Houston,
No.
with respect, were underwater? Or did we get greedy and build too much in too many places without slowing down and saying, is this going to hurt us in the future?
It's the latter.
But since we don't want to take responsibility of how greedy we are, let's blame the rain. Okay. Go ahead. You got you and then Deanna.
Excuse us all.
You did say so.
Yeah, the next portion, after receiving that answer,
Mm-hmm.
is it fair to say that what we magnify as burdens or problems are actually blessings in disguise?
Yes. The question was, what we magnify as burdens or problems are actually blessings in disguise. Here's the deal. I want to say yes to about 98% of that sentence. The in disguise, that prepositional phrase, I have a problem with. So here we go. No. Let's keep the in disguise there because it left for a teaching moment. There is no such thing as anything bad. I know. You couldn't handle it. I know. No such thing as bad news. Bad news is just energy that's coming into your head. But once it gets into your brain, with your subconscious, and how you view life, and your frame of reference, and your self-esteem, you will make it good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And as dramatic
Yes.
people as we
Yes.
are, we
You
should
will-
be, yeah.
It takes you over. That's right. They're right. It takes you over. Think about this for a second. If I tell you your house burned down and you don't know how to build another one, and that's all you had, that's bad news.
Not as somebody within it.
Hold on, she's okay. No. Yes. The question: some people act out as their own way of taking. Of course. Why? Because acting out is only a physical manifestation of what's happening inside their brain. They are creating that before they ever panic outwardly, they've been panicking inwardly. They taught themselves to panic, and what you think is what will happen. Your inner world will reflect itself to your outer world. Your outer world is just a reflection of your inner world. Now, let's back up and let's go back to this question. You burned down your house. It's a bad thing. Now, if you never had a house and you burn your house down and you was in there for 24 hours, but your kids almost died and you had to run in that house and save them,
Who cares about the house?
and you get a 3rd-degree burn on your arm, but you protected your children from not dying. You use your arm to save them and run them out the house. And all your family is alive. And the house was insured. And it wasn't your fault. Is that bad news?
No.
You get it? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying it's not inconvenient. But when you can look at your baby and see that your baby is still alive, you say things like, I'm not even worried about that house. Mm-hmm. My family's alive. You get it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. She said, most important thing is you saved it all. Make sense? Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to get you to, the reason, here's the point of that concisely. I just changed your perception with some new information. And when I gave you new information, it was you that said through your own information, oh, well, now that you're saying this, it ain't bad then. So it was never bad.
It wasn't.
It couldn't have been bad. I can't change something from bad to good. I don't have that power. It was always good until you decided I have enough information to make this bad. Everything in this world happens that way. Go ahead. You said, so basically?
Like, no matter what, like, whatever we go through in life, we always have to find a solution towards our problems. We can't just focus.
That's right. That's right. That's right. What they're saying over the phone is, no matter what happens is we need to find the good in the bad situation. Find a solution. There's a book by Spencer Johnson called Peaks and Valleys that captures exactly what you just said. It's like 98 pages big, 98 pages long, but the book is increíble. No, I forgot to say it in Spanish. Increíble. Anyway, I got every Spanish word in my head, but this one right now. It is incredible, okay? It is incredible. Incredible. All right. Next, you had a question. Next question. We got one from Deanna.
So.
No so.
Thank you. In order to. I just had it. You said don't even pay attention to the opposite. So if I want something good and I only focus on that good, when the bad pops up, is it good for us to ask ourselves, is this going to hurt me in the future?
Yes. If the bad pops up, you said, is this bad serving me? Thank you for sharing, Mrs. or Mrs. Bad. I'm on my way.
So is that also a good way to determine if, like she was asking, how do we know? Is that a good way to determine it as well?
I never really fully answered the question, how do you know? So let me answer that question and then answer your question. I never fully answered the question, how do we know? She asked on the line, over the phone. How do we know if this is... How do we know when the bad stuff comes up, if it's for us or against us, or if this is us making it? If you write down what you want, that's step one. Mm-hmm. And you're willing to believe in what you want, that's step two. And you're willing to act as if you already deserve and belong in whatever you want. If anything bad comes into your life, it is only serving what you wrote down in step one.
What was step two again?
If you wrote down, if you believe, and if you receive. I actually did believe, receive. I just said receive differently. Because y'all hear receive and go, well, I received that because some of our spiritual circles make receive a metaphor, I don't. What makes it metaphor? Okay. Receive. You go ahead and preach that one, Reverend. You go ahead. That was for free. Well, yeah, that's. Yeah, you're right. She said that goes back to Christianity, which is true. You go ahead. You can talk about it. That's right. That's right. So what I'm trying to tell you is let's redefine what receive means. Receive means I believe I belong in it. and I'm already acting as if it's mine. When I receive something, I don't have to ask myself, do I deserve this? I expect this. Yes, sir. Got a question.
Yeah, I have a question. It's defining receive. Could receive mean, or is it another definition of receiving, meaning that I accepting this into my reality, whether it's good or bad, I'm accepting this into my reality, so I'm manifesting what doesn't exist into the existence of my reality.
That's fair. Yeah. The question is, he's doing some nuances on receive. If I receive something, can I just say, I accept this into my reality and I'm just accepting full responsibility so I can create something else? Sure you can. That's actually quite mature. It is, anybody who does that will be in full control of their life because they're not making excuses of why they're not in control of their life. That's someone behind the steering wheel of their own car. Every accident was their fault. Even if they got hit. Maybe if I left 5 minutes later or something, anything. Anything wrong with the company is, anything wrong with the company is their fault. You get it? All these things like this. You understand? Okay, any more questions? Any more burning questions? Okay, say
No, I don't.
Okay. We're getting ready. Tomorrow's going to be deep. I gave you questions because tomorrow is going to...
One more question.
Ask all the questions you want.
I have another question.
Okay.
This question is about the formula of wisdom, experience, and being.
Okay. He's asking a question about knowledge plus experience equals being.
When you get the wisdom and you start when you get the wisdom, how do you know you're experiencing in whatever it is you're trying to be?
All right. The question, that formula is knowledge plus experience equals being. Since you so churchy, you just think, knowledge from God equals wisdom. So you went all, said wisdom, which is fine. As long as you get it, I ain't mad at you. The question is, when I get the knowledge, how do I know? How do I know I'm experiencing it, or how do I know it? Which one was it?
How do I know I'm experiencing it in order to become the being of it?
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the perfect last question. How do I know? Once I have the knowledge plus experience equals being. Once I have the knowledge, how do I know that I am experiencing this to get me to the next level?
Good question.
This is a great question. This is a perfect question to end. I'm going to end this here because I don't want you to leave without what he just asked. Everything gets you to where you're supposed to be. Oh no, see, y'all don't like that.
No.
You don't have a single experience in your life that did not work out for your behalf. Not some future workout for your behalf. Not some spiritual workout for your behalf. The mere fact, now think about it, knowledge plus experience equals being. Not knowledge plus the experiences I like equals being. Knowledge plus whatever I go through, past knowledge, is working out so I can be. Oprah says it best, there are no mistakes. Failure is just that thing pointing you in the right direction. You will get to wherever you want to get to, even if where you currently are is completely your fault. You will get to wherever you want to get to, even if where you currently are is completely your fault. Because there are no failures. There is no mistake. You are right where you're supposed to be, should you stop paying attention to what does not serve you. Should you simply accept where you are, then you can change where you are. But if you keep thinking everything is not working out for you, then you would be the one thing that never works out for you. All right. My name is Antonio T. Smith Jr. You can plan better. You can dominate.